Hey everyone, and welcome back to AKA Daddy Podcast. Welcome to episode 5. This episode is all about mental health. I think it's such an important thing to take care of our mental health. And also our health in general. I think that a lot of the times when we don't take care of our regular health, it can also affect our mental health. Like I was saying in my last episode, I had gotten so sick. I had gotten really, really sick. I don't know if I had COVID. It's so funny because I had taken a COVID test. It was the at home one. And I went to the health department and they were like, oh, they gave me the COVID test and they were expired. And I was like, these are expired. They were like, oh, well, it's okay. They extended the dates. I guess maybe the CDC had extended the dates on the COVID tests, so they're going to be valid. And it came back negative, but I just wasn't feeling right because it just didn't, I'm like, this might be inaccurate. And I took two and they both came back negative. So I ended up going to my, ordering some from my insurance, my medical insurance. Um, and they ended up sending me some COVID tests that were actually not expired. They expired in 2024. So I was just like, okay, that's weird. Anyways, the point I'm making is that what we put into our bodies, how we take care of ourselves, fitness, eating, diet, that can affect our mental health as well. And it's so funny. A lot of the stuff that we just eat is just, it really does affect our mental health. I remember when I was working at iHeart, I had a colleague who had lost so much weight. Apparently, he was a really big guy and he just was so fed up, I guess. And one day he just decided that he was just gonna tackle his weight, and he lost so much weight. He looked good. He really looked good, and he ended up portioning his meals and everything, and just watched what he ate, and went on walks and things like that. And he told me that he was so angry all the time. When he was bigger, he was so angry, and he thought, or he correlated his anger and his, like, I guess being like really irritable and stuff with the things that he ate. And I think that that's really important too. Like what we put in our bodies, it can affect how you act. You know what I mean? And it could also affect your mental health. Like everything health related affects our mental health. It doesn't matter. Like what you eat will affect your mental health. What you drink will affect your mental health. What you just ingest, what you listen to, what you see, what you allow to consume, like what you consume and what you allow to be consumed can affect your mental health. And a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know that, all the things that we consume affects our mental health. Again, when it comes to diet and stuff like that, like um I was on like a little craze with like sweets and stuff. Like I at my last job, my I worked with coworkers that were like really big coffee drinkers. And where we worked at, there were like, so I worked on a college campus, and this particular college campus had like 3 Starbucks, right? And oh my God, they were like big coffee drinkers. They were always like wanting to go on coffee runs because we had a Starbucks like right across the street from our office, where our office was located. And so like we would always walk there. There were always like specials. And I'm not, here to talk down to about any company or anything like that. But, I consumed so much of it like almost every day. I guess I was like, there was like some point in my life where I was just like really stressed about something, or I think I might have been like taking a class. I don't even remember, but I just know I was like going through a little something, or I just like didn't care, didn't give a shit. And I just like consumed Starbucks every day. And then I gained so much weight, and it affected my mental health because of just like how I thought, how you think. And I just became like very lethargic and tired and not wanting to really do anything. And, I think that can really affect your mental health, because it just causes you to be so foggy and just like causes you to not really want to do anything and kind of forget stuff, and then just affect the way you perform in like life, I guess, like at work, and just how you are with other people, and just like the way your mind thinks. And it's just so crazy. Everything affects our mental health. Everything is tied to our mental health. And we have to take so much care for ourselves, or of ourselves. We have to take so much care of ourselves. And, like in my last episode, I was saying that I was sick, had gotten sick like twice, I was sick for probably like a week and a half. And then recently I was sick for about a week. And I don't know what the hell it was, but it affected my mental health too, because like when I get really sick, like if I catch the flu or anything like that, it puts me in a depression, I guess, because it makes me not feel like wanting to do anything. It makes me just like, just sad and depressed, and I just want to lay down, and I don't want to really eat, and I just don't really want to be around people. And, when you're sick, you feel like that, you just feel like drawn down, and you don't want to be around people. And yeah, it's just crazy how all that shit is. And, I'm really big now on wanting to take supplements, vitamin C and zinc and D3 vitamins. And, it's crazy because like my dad's really, really old. He's 85 years old, 86. 85 years old. I really like legit added that up. Yeah, he's 85 years old. And I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to like always make these like supplements. When I was little, my dad used to always take supplements. Like he would always be taking like 5, 6, 7 pills of like fish oil and like different vitamins and stuff like that. And he used to always make tea. And he used to always do like little exercises, whether he's like walking around the house and like doing like, little arm exercises or whatever. And his health was always like pretty good, because he always made the tea. He always ate like a lot of garlic. And then he always like took supplements, and just like, his health has always been up to par. And he didn't really like go to the doctor that much. And I never like really saw him get sick or catch any colds, versus my mom. She's gotten more sick, but then her health isn't really like, she doesn't really consume like really healthy foods. And I try to tell her about that. And so recently I watched a documentary, and it was like a really, really good documentary. And I would advise you guys to watch it. It's called Live to 100, The Secret of the Blue Zones. It's on Netflix. It's a really, really good documentary. Again, I recommend you to watch it. There's this guy by the name of, I'm going to butcher his name. I have to like look it up. This guy by the name of Dan Buettner. So he goes to different countries. He travels to different countries, and he speaks with a lot of different people who are considered centenarians. And basically what centenarians are people that live to the age of 100 or later, I think, is what I saw the definition of what centenarians are. Anyways, he goes to these countries, talk to these different people, and basically ask them how they live long. And I think that that's so important. And another thing was, a lot of these people never went into any nursing homes, which was so amazing. So I would recommend you watch that on your own. I'm not going to give too much information. It's basically a documentary, but it's really, really amazing. And these people were still like talking. They were having conversations. There was even one, I'm sorry, I have to like tell this. Spoiler alert. There was one guy who was 100 years old, and he was riding a horse. And I think he was like chopping wood or something. And I'm like, oh my God, like he was just had so much vitality. He was just talking, like normal. And usually the typical like 100-year-old, you're going to think you would typically see them in a hospital bed or like in a nursing home and like with tubes and stuff, or like you would see them like just sitting in a chair or like a recliner and just like, basically half sleep, half awake or something. You know what I mean? And like a lot of these people he talked to were just like in really good health. And again, like I said, we have to take into consideration our mental health, because everything we consume, whether it's food, whether it's any kind of liquid, or like even social media or anything we consume, really affects our mental health. Anything you watch, and that's what I was saying in my last episode of social media. You have to like really, really be careful of what you consume, because, it could just like, it can make you upset. It could trigger you. It can like cause so many different things. And, when we get triggered, of course, that's going to affect our mental health. That's going to make you angry. That's going to probably ruin your day. And then you're probably going to take it out on somebody, or you're probably going to continue that conversation of you being triggered with someone. And then you're going to draw down that other person. And you know what I mean? And it's just, yeah, that's why we have to really, really be careful of what we consume. Because, I want to live long. I want to be healthy. I want to make healthier choices, especially, we're approaching a new year soon. We're going to be in 2024. I want to be in, better health. And I definitely want to be able to consume better, better things and make better choices. Like a lot of the things that I do now, like I try to drink more water. I'm trying to get off the soda, because soda can like, yeah, I've had a bad relationship with soda in terms of like making me gain weight. And I hate that, and, we have to understand like, a lot of the things we consume, like the sugary drinks, the sodas and the juices and stuff, it has so much sugar in it. And again, it affects, your mental clarity. A lot of the times you don't have any mental clarity because of the bullshit that you're eating. You know what I mean? And so I just say we need to do that. And another thing I've been doing for my mental health has been self-care. I went on YouTube, and I had no idea I was doing it wrong the whole time. And I'm not trying to sound like gross or anything like that. I just thought that I needed to just take a regular shower and I'm clean. And apparently I was doing it wrong the whole time, because I was, I went on YouTube and I was just like looking up like different self-care videos and stuff, and, shower routines. And a lot of these girls, baby, I'm telling you, I was probably spending about $150 on these damn products. Some of these girls was taking more than one shower. And I was like, wait a minute, am I doing this wrong? They were using more than one type of body wash. And I went and bought multiple body washes. They was, using like multiple razors for, certain, hairs you get grown in certain places. And yeah, it was just, and I was just realizing, damn, I was doing it wrong the whole time, And again, we got to take care of us, baby. You got to take care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who will? You all you got. You are all you got. So there's only one of you. You got to take care of you, because you're the one that's going to make sure that you succeed. You're the one that's going to be there to take care of your family. And you're the one that's going to be there when, to make it happen for yourself and for your family. You know what I mean? Because it all starts here, and it starts here. It all starts internally, and it starts with our mind too. Like, your mind is a very powerful thing. Your mental health is a very powerful thing. Mental clarity is a very powerful thing. And a lot of us don't know that. And again, a lot of things is tied to your mental health. A lot of it, and a lot of it has to do with what you consume. Again, whether it's food, whether it's, liquids, which you're what you're ingesting, or what you're, putting into your body in terms of liquids, what you're watching, what you're experiencing, the conversations you have with people, every aspect of life affects your mental health, And, stress is a big one too. Like, what you allow to affect you and trigger you. It's just such a big thing. And we need to have more conversations about this, and it's not just about the experiences we've had. Yes, a lot of us deal with a lot of shit in life. A lot of us have dealt with, dealing with a dysfunctional family and stuff like that. And, dealing with abuse and, things like that, and, dealing with being mistreated and all that. That's not just mental health. That's just not a part of mental health. It's so much more than that. And people need to understand that, and one of the things I, don't like about when it comes to mental health is that everybody is quick to use mental health as an excuse. And we can't do that. It depends on what it is, and I'm going to talk about this in another episode about, taking accountability and shit, and that's where I think, there could be a misconception about mental health where people, they misuse the term mental health. When it's time to take accountability, people want to use that term and say, oh, well, I was going through a dark time, a dark place. And, I let, this get the best of me. And it's like, you can't do that. You got to take accountability at some time. And, again, that's going to be in a different episode. But, we have to also like take a good look at, ourselves and our lives and what we are consuming. We have to take a very good look, a close look at what we're consuming and what we're allowing to come into our bodies and into our minds and what we're listening to. You know what I mean? And, just everything in this society it can really affect us, especially like it could be like the music you listen to. Like if you sitting up here listening to some negative shit where people talking about they want to kill other people or whatever it is, and they talking about some negative shit, of course you probably going to listen to that shit or you're going to probably act out. You know what I mean? Or if you like sit here and watch, people fighting all the time and fighting videos and reality TV and they fighting, you probably gonna start acting out and acting ratchet and shit like that. You know what I mean? And again, we have to like really, really take a good look at ourselves and, just really see that the shit that we are putting into our bodies and our minds. Because baby, again, your mind is a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. And it's a terrible thing to waste. It really, really is. You got to really, 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 really closely examine and closely analyze the shit that you are allowing into your body and into your mind, because you're going to project that on other people, right? I had a friend and oh my God, and I talked about this briefly in past, I think probably my first or second episode. I really don't remember. I had a friend and, we were angry. We both were angry about stuff and we connected because we had dealt with so much adversity and, we were so angry about, not getting certain opportunities and being treated, not the best by certain people. And, we would vent all the time to each other. And then I was just like, oh, I would get so irritated and stuff. And then she kept venting. And I was just getting so fucking tired of it. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to kind of take a small break from her. And, and then I realized certain blessings started coming to me, right? When I took a break from her. And she would always vent. And then one time she texted me some shit that kind of upset me a little bit, talking about how I had went to a job and it, basically, I basically demoted myself, but I was getting more money. That really upset me because she didn't know the situation. There were certain factors. There were certain factors like the distance by my house, and actually the job paid me more money. But anyways, in that conversation, or in the text, rather, it was a text message she sent me, and it was just like out of the blue. And it was just like, it really pissed me off because it's like, wow, you know, you're just going to text me some shit like that out of the blue that's saying that I'm at a job where I demoted myself. Anyways, you know, in that same text or thread, she said that she's going to be getting a therapist. And I told her, I was like, you know, well, I'm glad you're getting help. I'm glad you're getting the help you need, because you know what? You're projecting whatever anger you have, you're projecting on other people. And she hasn't contacted me ever since. But again, you know, we have to watch out for the shit that we consume and the stuff, especially the shit that we allow people to say to us. You know, if you have to take a break from people, let them know that. You know, sometimes it could be, you know, shit that we consume from other people, you know, that could affect our mental health too. And that could trigger us. And not even only with this particular friend, I had another friend that she will always vent to me about stuff, And I would just sit there and listen and take it in. And I had another friend in the past where she used to do the same thing too about her relationship. And I would just like take it in. And then it would always just like bring me down. And it wasn't like them bringing me down. It was the venting itself that brought me down. You know what I mean? It's just like the constant complaining of something. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, there's times where you want to get things off your chest. I've been there too. But when you are doing it on a constant basis, that shit could fucking like bring somebody down. And we don't know that. You know, that shit could really, really bring people down. And that can affect people's mental health because it could be triggering too. It really can. And, you know, that's one of the things that you have to like, just like really watch out with other people and just like, you know, get with people who are like-minded, that, you know, that don't care about the bullshit, or that, you know, kind of disregard the bullshit. And it's easier said than done. But, you know, you got to get with people that disregard the bullshit and just are looking forward to the blessings, and are just like looking forward, you know, that have the faith, that that are looking forward to the blessings, and just, you know, that are looking at the positive part of life, and, you know, with the optimism, you know, because, you know, there's times where I've even done it with other people, you know, with certain friends. I'm like, oh, how come we haven't talked, you know, for a while or whatever. And, you know, they will say, well, you know, you sounded so angry and upset, and, you know, and that kind of energy brings me down, you know. And we again, we got to stop and really look closely at the shit that we're consuming and the shit that we're projecting onto other people, because that's a powerful thing, baby. It's a very, very powerful thing. You know, this life we have one life, and we have to treat it so precious. You know, we can't allow all this bullshit to really affect us, because, you know, yes, we live in a really fucked up world. There's a lot of shit going on in this world, and we have to like really, really look at the positive parts of this. You know, we have to look at the positive things in life. We got to look at the positive things, and we got to be very optimistic about stuff in this life. You know, whether we do see that there's negative shit going on, we got to make the best of it and look at the optimistic part of it. You know, whether it be spending time with your family, or spending time with your animals, or, you know, going to a beautiful place, going into nature, traveling, you know, meditating. That's a big thing. That's a big one. Meditating is a big, big one. You know what I mean? Spending time with, you know, God or whoever, you know, whoever you believe in. You know what I mean? And just like not always consume the bad shit, you know, because the bad shit, it can like, in the past, whenever I've consumed bad shit, it would cause me to act out and act crazy and like have me project certain things to people. And that's not even me. Like, I used to watch a lot of reality TV, like with the fighting and shit. And then I just realized I used to start acting out, just like talking crazy, you know, saying certain things. Because if I used to hear certain stuff, I used to like just repeat certain stuff. Like if it's a certain phrase that I would hear that was like, you know, like if someone says a certain phrase that might be, you know, funny to some people, but it's like, it could be very inappropriate, I might say that same phrase. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really watch what I consume. And like I was saying in the social media episode, we have to take a close look at what we see on social media too, because there could be a lot of shit that we see that's very, very triggering, and I tend to, if there's something very if I see something that's very triggering to me and is going to cause me to want to comment, or is going to cause me to want to, fight back, or, to someone, or like, clap back at somebody, I just avoid it altogether. Because you know what? At the end of the day, yeah, we all live in a free country. We all have free speech. But I rather ignore whatever somebody says that's triggering and go on with my day than to just keep fighting, go back and forth, because I've done that shit before and that shit's not cool. And it was just like fuck up my whole day. And, again, we got to really, really watch out what we consume. And just like really take care of ourselves, take care of our health, take supplements, go on walks, get air, go out in the sun, spend time with our loved ones, do the things we love, be out in nature, love ourselves, meditate, say affirmations, really, really love ourselves, and once you do that, once you love yourself, you're going to spread that love to other people. And once you take care of yourself, your mental health will get better. Whatever you consume, your mental health will get better. And then you'll project great things, and you'll spread amazing things to other people, and you'll spread the love, and you'll spread, all the great things. You'll be able to recognize the gifts that you have, and spread your gifts to other people, and display your gifts to other people, and be able to show the talent that you do have and the purpose you have in this life. And, all that because of mental health. Okay, so please take care of yourselves out there. Whoever's listening, please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of other people. Love yourself. Love others. And, just make sure you are taking care. With that being said, take care once again. And I will see you guys on the next episode. You guys can follow me on Instagram. It is at AKA Daddy Podcast. Again, at AKA Daddy Podcast. I am also on YouTube and Spotify. And this is a bi-weekly podcast on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.